Now suppose we hide these two div elements initially and just implement the slide down effect. What will happen? Let us try that. That is, let me specify display to be none initially, and let me add the script section after the style tag. So script, first let me add the document.ready event. So $document.ready function, open and close parenthesis, open and close curly braces, and within this what we need to do, for each button we need to implement the slide down and slide up effect, right? So on normal slide down button click, so let me access it, $normal slide down dot click function, open and close parenthesis, open and close curly braces, and here what we need to do, we need to access this element which is normal slide. So $normal slide dot slide down. Here I want to happen it in 1 second, so I'm specifying 1000 as the duration, which means 1000 milliseconds equal to 1 second. And let me copy this, paste it here, and the next button is normal slide up. Okay, and for that what should happen? The same normal slide content should be called with slide up method, right? So here it should be slide up. Then the next one is for reverse. So for that as well we can copy these two and paste it here. This one is reverse slide down, and the name of the content is reverse, that is the ID of the content is reverse slide. So here let me specify reverse slide dot slide down, and here it should be reverse again. Hope this is not confusing you. We are just calling the corresponding buttons and calling that particular method. For slide down we are calling slide down method. Here also for reverse slide down we are calling the slide down method. For slide up, here and here we are calling the slide up method. The content and the button ID will be different. So reverse slide. Now let us see what happens. We haven't done anything different to reverse the effect. So first let us see what happens now. Let me click normal slide down. See, it is getting slided down. Normal slide up, it is getting slided up. Reverse slide down, again sliding down. Reverse slide up, again sliding up. Now in these two cases, the slide down and slide up effects work as normal. That is, even if we click this normal slide down or even this reverse slide down, it is getting slided down to display the content. Similarly, if I click the normal slide up, it is going upwards and hides the content. Here also it is hiding the content. So this is working as normal in both these cases. So what we need to do now, we need to reverse this case. That is, when we click the reverse slide down, it should be slided up to reveal the content, and when we click this reverse slide up button, the content should be slided down to hide the content. So that is what we are going to implement. But before that, if you notice carefully, you could see that these buttons are moving a bit towards the left hand side when the content is getting displayed. If you notice carefully, you will be able to identify that. Let me click this button. See, these buttons has moved a bit towards the left hand side. Similarly, if I click this button, as and when this content gets hidden, these buttons will move towards the right hand side. See, they have moved towards the right hand side. That is because this content is having more space required, and to accommodate that space, all the items are moving towards the left hand side like this. So what we can do is that we can equally distribute the total width to these two main div elements. That is, for the normal and reverse div elements, we can make the width to be half of this total div elements width. So let me do that first before implementing the reverse part. So here the container's width is 1000 px. So what I'm going to do here is that let me specify width to be 500 px, and also for the reverse div element I'm setting the width to be 500 px. Now let me save this. Let me refresh. See, these two buttons have moved towards this side because this section and this section are having equal width now. So now if you click this and click this, it happens like this. Again, if I click this, the buttons are not moving now, right? Next, what we need to do, we need to implement the actual reverse part. So there is no option in jQuery to reverse the effect. So what we are going to do is that we are going to make use of the CSS positioning techniques to implement this reversal. So the whole reverse div will act as a parent, and the content div, which is the div having ID reverse slide, will act as a child element, and for the parent we will set the position properties value to be relative, and for the child we will set its value to be absolute. If you already know the CSS positioning techniques, you will be knowing how we can adjust the position of the child elements by setting the parent's position relative and the child's position absolute. You can make use of properties like top, left, right and bottom if you want. We are going to make use of bottom property here. So let me do that part next. So in the CSS part, let me access the reverse div element, and for that let me set the position to be relative. This is not at all related with jQuery. This is pure CSS. So its position is set to be relative, and I am going to set the position of the reverse slide, that is the div element containing the text, and its position to be absolute. Now if we just specify the parent's position to be relative and the child's position to be absolute, nothing is going to happen with respect to its positions. Let me show you. Let me save this. Let me refresh. See, nothing is happening. So if we want to see that, for the time being, let me remove this, display none. Let me refresh. See, the content is getting displayed as before. This div element is displayed as before, right? Now suppose I specify the value of bottom to be 0. Then what will happen is that this reverse slide element's bottom will be positioned at the bottom edge of its parent. That is, this element is now being positioned relative to its parent's position. Now let me save this and show you. Let me refresh. See, this whole button has been moved towards the top. So what we want actually, its original position should be somewhere here or at the bottom, and it should move towards the top when we click the reverse slide down button. So what we can do for that is that we can use the padding option, that is padding bottom, and we are going to set the value to be 230 px. Why? Because the width of this, the height of this element is 190 px and margin is 10 px and padding is 10 px, which means margin will be 20 if we consider the top and bottom margin, and similarly padding also will be 20 if we consider the top and bottom padding, which means it requires 230 px as the height, considering the height of the element, margin as well as padding. If you know the CSS positioning techniques, you will be knowing this. So in order to calculate the height or width, we need to also calculate the margin, padding values together with the height or width. So here, as we need to move it towards the bottom, we need to consider the height. So the height will be calculated 190 plus 10 plus 10, which is margin top and margin bottom. So it will be 210. Then again padding top and padding bottom will be 20. So 230 px. Now let me save this. Let me refresh. Though it is being displayed similar to this, we could find that this is actually positioned with respect to its parent. So if we specify display to be none and then click the button, let me first set display to be none and let me refresh, click the button. See, it is now sliding up to display the content. Actually, the reverse slide down happens now. Hope you understand. When I click normal slide down, it will move from top to bottom. But in case of reverse slide down, what happens? Actually, we have written the code like slide down only, right? Here on the click of the reverse slide down button, we are calling the slide down method only. But using CSS, it is positioned with respect to its parent. So for that, we have specified position of the parent to be relative and the position of the child to be absolute. The child is the div element having the content we want to display. And for this child element, we have set the bottom value to be 0. So when we specify the bottom value to be 0, what happens is that its bottom will be positioned with respect to the bottom edge of its parent, and we are moving it towards the bottom using padding property and set the value to 230. And now we are able to see the reverse slide down effect. Let me refresh. Click normal slide down. It is moving from top to bottom. Whereas when we click reverse slide down, the content is getting displayed from bottom to top. In fact, this is the slide up effect, right? When I click normal slide up, it will move from bottom to top, and here it is moving from top to bottom. So we have implemented the reverse slide down and slide up effects using CSS. In fact, we are calling the jQuery's slide down and slide up methods as normal, but in order to make the reverse effect, we are doing positioning techniques and implemented the reverse effects. So normal slide down, reverse slide down. Actually this is slide up, right? This name should be actually slide up, but as it is displaying the content, I have just specified reverse slide down itself. Normal slide up, reverse slide up. It is hiding the content.